5-yard penalty. Remember, a three-pointer by Joe Nedney would put this game out of reach.
I don't understand.
Delay. Offense, 5 yards. Still third down.
I don't understand. You know, some teams you watch them and they just, you know, they'll do everything they can to screw up a ball game and find a way to lose it. And the last play I don't understand, and how you have a delay of game penalty in this situation is beyond me. If they're not careful, they're going to knock themselves out of field goal range to where they don't even get the 3 points.
Exactly. So it's third down and 12. On the 31-yard line, they give it to Eddie George, and George is tackled at the 30 for a pickup of 1. And the Bucs will use their third and final timeout here.
Tampa Bay.
2:12 remaining in regulation. And fourth down coming up. Well, let's change sports for a moment, because Fox and Fox Family involved in the baseball playoffs, but you'll see it on Fox. After this game, and Jeff Fisher's Titans are not out of the woods yet.
Well, and here's a look at the attempt. But if you think back to the fourth down play when Tampa Bay was backed up, and you think, should they go for it in third and long or should they not? They decided to go ahead and punt, and it's turned out to be the right decision. Now, with over 2 minutes left in the game, they've got the ball on their own 38-yard line with a chance to move the football with plenty of time to tie this game up.
And the other thing is they actually huddled on the sideline to decide whether to go for the long field goal or maybe try and pin them deep with a punt situation. They elect for the field goal. We'll have to see if that works out to be the right decision.
Tampa Bay has no timeouts remaining, and they need a touchdown. From the 38-yard line, Brad Johnson going for Warren Sapp, and extending himself, incomplete. Covered by Keith Bullock, a linebacker downfield.
He's got Keith Bullock working against him, and here you got Warwick Dunn right here, and he's going to run up the sidelines. He's got a chance. He's working against Bullock, the linebacker, who's got tremendous speed, but Warwick has a chance and actually had a legitimate shot at catching that football. You see right there, he lays out. Would have been a heck of a catch, but at this point in the ball game, those are the kinds of plays that you got to have.
Second down and 10. 2-minute warning will come up after this play. And Brad Johnson, and nearly intercepted. It was intended for Keyshawn Johnson, but it was closer to Eric Morris. And that'll bring up third and 10, and with 1:57 on the clock, the 2-minute warning here in Nashville, with the Titans up by 7. Occurring here in Nashville with the Titans leading 28-21, and the Buccaneers facing third and 10. They need 2 downs to get 10 yards to keep it alive.
Well, and that's the key right there, Dick, is that they got 2 downs. They don't have to get 10 yards here. They just have to get enough yards to give themselves a makeable fourth down conversion.
And they whistle, and they may need 15. We'll wait to see what the call is. Dick Hantack crew very busy today with a flurry of yellow flags.
Ball start. Offense. Number 60.
Dorsey Coleman, the right guard.
5-yard penalty. Still third down.
So it'll be third and 15.
There he is right here, Dorsey Coleman, your right guard. You know, I think the defense cannot instigate the false movement, and to me, that's what looked like happened.
Negligible, to say the least. Third and 15. Again, they have 2 downs to get the yardage. Brad Johnson flagged down, and the pass is intercepted by Deron Jenkins. But there's a penalty marker down near the line of scrimmage, so hold everything. This is a critical call.
Offside. Defense, number 93.
Wow. So it'll be third and 10.
Not only third and 10.
Lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down. Third down.
But they give the ball back to him. We've seen it on the special teams where they've allowed him to go back in and score touchdowns. Now the game is over, and they give him the ball right back. And he's down here behind Keith Bullock, number 53. You'll see Kevin Carter. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, he's up top here. and they're going to meet right back at Brad Johnson. So he was in the neutral zone, but again, a penalty that keeps Tampa Bay in this football game.
All the touchdowns for Tampa Bay came after fourth-down penalties against the Titans, so it's 3rd down and 10 once again. Brad Johnson trying to get rid of it, and finally does, and it's knocked away by Andre Dyson on the pass intended for Riedel Anthony. So Dyson makes another big play.
Pretty good coverage, too. Here's Keyshawn Johnson trying to get outside. He's not there. Deron Jenkins is on him. You got Dave Moore. They're tied in. He's coming up the field trying to get out. You got Donald Mitchell on him as well. There's just nobody able to shake loose, and Brad's running around back there trying to get somebody open, and no one was able to.
So Brad Johnson, missing his last 5 attempts, brings up 4th and 10, and this is it for Tampa Bay's hopes. No timeouts left. Brad Johnson double pumps, and the pass is caught for the first down by Keyshawn Johnson at midfield, and the Bucs stay alive. They have no timeouts left with under a minute and a half remaining, and they stop the clock with the spike. And right now, let's go to James Brown quickly for a game break. JB.
Thrilling game there. Take a look in St. Louis. Trung Canady takes a 1-yard run into pay dirt. 15-14 Rams. 2-minute warning there. Take a look at Steve Smith in Carolina. A 93-yard kickoff return for the first play of the season for the Carolina Panthers. This one is a 70-yard punt return. 25-20 Carolina, but the Saints are driving. Dick, Troy, and Darrell.
All right, we're getting down to the finish of several thrillers. Buccaneers stay alive. 2nd down and 10 from midfield, and going for Keyshawn Johnson. And this pass is ruled a catch. It's a catch by Keyshawn Johnson, with Morris and Booker defending, and a gain of 18, and the clock stops with 1:18 to go, an added bonus.
You got Keyshawn Johnson there, and they're double covering him. They have Booker over the top of him. Eric Morris is safety. They got 2 guys to make sure Keyshawn Johnson does not get involved in the play. He does a nice job of running the route, and they're still able to get him the football.
They're on the 32, and they need a touchdown. A field goal won't do it. With 1:17 to go, and the pass out to Riedel Anthony, and he gets hit by Andre Dyson. So it'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
You know, and that's the one, it's a good thing that he didn't catch the ball, because he was going to get tackled for no gain, and the clock keeps running. But that's the pass that Brad seems to really be struggling with. You see it over and over, and it's a ball that comes out, and I don't know if it's slipping out of his hand or what it is, but it doesn't appear to have a whole lot of velocity on it, and he needs to be able to stick those balls on these guys, give them the ball with a chance to get up the field and run.
Second and 10. Brad Johnson going for Johnson. Keyshawn Johnson with the catch, going out of bounds, and they'll mark it at about the 5-yard line. So Eric Morris covering on the play, and Keyshawn Johnson with a 27-yard pickup.
Well, here he is right here, and Michael Booker, the corner, is on him. And then you got Eric Morris over the top. Again, just like 2 plays ago, he runs a corner route. The corner doesn't play it very well. Booker does not play it very well, and the safety's nowhere to be found.
Well, the safety
nice
really
route there.
That safety really bit on his inside move to the post and couldn't get back out to the corner.
Keyshawn Johnson comes out of the game with 8 catches for 139 yards. His 12th 100-yard receiving game. 1st and goal at the 5. Buccaneers need the touchdown and the extra point to tie, and the pass incomplete. It was knocked away and almost intercepted. It was Eric Morris on the pass intended for Dave Moore. It was like a pinball machine down there at the goal line.
Yeah, Eric Morris was more concerned about hitting Dave Moore than he was seeing the ball. If he's watching the ball, he's got it right in his lap.
You just wait for
right
these.
there. The ball's there, and it's boy. You don't get a lot. They don't get a lot easier than that, do they, Moose?
Oh boy.
Keyshawn Johnson back in the game. 3 catches for 57 yards on this drive. He's at the top.
We got Keyshawn here.
And
He's just been able to run some good patterns and catch the ball. That's the stop and aid. And here's the corner route. that is setting up this drive here. Big catch there along the sidelines. This is the last play here where he's got him up the field. Keyshawn does a nice job of holding the safety and getting back to the outside and getting out of bounds.
1:04 on the clock. 2nd and goal at the 5. Here's Brad Johnson. And he wisely throws it into the bleachers against pressure by Randall Godfrey and company.
That was a smart play there by Brad Johnson, realizing, unlike when he's thrown it up a couple of times earlier into coverage, he realizes here that he's got, live to play another down, and that's what he's been able to do.
74 yards passing in the first half, over 200 in the second, but now it's 3rd and goal. The Bucs need a touchdown, and they have 2 plays to get it.
And Warwick Dunn has just checked back into the ball game for the first time in about 5 plays.
Godquiz Green in motion. And the pass up the middle, touchdown! Dave Moore. The forgotten man is a receiver, and the tight end makes the catch to bring the Buccaneers to within 1 with 55 seconds remaining in regulation. And Grammatica is on to try to tie the score.
Here's Dave Moore right here. He's just going to work up the field, turn around, and then back to the inside. He gets lost. Brad finds him.
So Brad Johnson with his 2nd touchdown pass and the pivotal extra point attempt by Grammatica to tie the game. And he does. And the Buccaneers, who are 2 touchdowns in arrears, have come back to tie the Tampa Bay, the Titans, at 28-28. Who thought it was going to be a 3-2 game today?
Take a look again, right, and Dave Moore has become a forgotten man, a guy that's kind of got lost in the shuffle, but a huge play right here for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers by Dave Moore. Brad Johnson, good for you. You've gotten a few tough breaks during the course of today, and people have questioned this offense, and the guy that really made it happen, Keyshawn Johnson, he was the big guy on that drive. But again, all of this comes on a Tennessee penalty after they had made the interception. So for the 4th time today, a penalty that gave the ball back to the Buccaneers leads to a touchdown.
Well, and like you'd mentioned, Warwick Dunn coming out of the game and not wishing any ill will on him, but maybe it was a good thing when he did come out of the ball game because it forced them to have to go somewhere else with the football, and it seemed like that's when all of a sudden Keyshawn became a factor within the offense, and they were able to get him the football, and he was able to make some plays. And this is why they brought Brad Johnson in. This is why they went out and felt like they needed a quarterback who would not make the big mistake. And he does a nice job at clutch time, just like he did last week, of getting the team down there in a position. That 4th down throw that he made to convert there was a big throw to Keyshawn Johnson. And this is a guy who plays with a tremendous amount of poise.
You saw Blaine Bishop over on the Tennessee sideline. Remember, Samari Rolle is out several weeks. They're all-pro cornerback. They lose Bishop. They try to take advantage of Deron Jenkins. And against a depleted secondary, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers finally get it going. And so the kickoff, Chris Coleman returning, and he is tripped up on the 19-yard line by Rabi Abdullah. So 50 seconds to go, and the Titans still have 2 timeouts remaining. All they need to do is get into position for Joe Nedney, who has clicked on 2 field goals today and missed one from 47.
Well, they've got 2 timeouts, so they got 50 seconds, and because of the 2 timeouts, there's still time. I'm curious to see is with these young receivers if they know the 2-minute offense well enough that they can try to attack them and get a score here in regulation time.
They got their young receivers in from the 20-yard line. McNair under siege and gets rid of it as he is about to go down. And they're going to rule it. And let's see if Warren Sapp came in.
Player was ruled in the grass. In the grass.
I haven't heard that term in a while. It's a sack for Warren Sapp, his first of the year.
There he is working up the middle, and he gets a hold of him. And McNair trying to get rid of the football, but you're right. He was within the tackle box, clearly in the grass, but there was no receiver in the area.
So Warren Sapp picking up his first sack, creating a 2nd down and 18. Back on the 13-yard line, and the handoff is to Eddie George, and driven back with authority by Derrick Brooks.
Well, the big thing about him being in the grasp is the clock continued to run. So while they're sorting that whole thing out, they lost about 28 seconds in time. So right now, all they can do is stay right here. Let's go to overtime and see what happens.
And we're going into overtime here at Nashville. We'll have the toss of the coin. And regulation is over with the Tennessee Titans and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers all tied at 28. And in the fourth quarter at one time, the Titans had a 28-14 lead, only to see Tampa Bay come back. And guys, the most frustrating thing today for Jeff Fisher has to be those penalties, because 4 scores 20 years ago, but 4 scores for the Buccaneers have come after those penalties that would have really ended things for their possession.
Well, and there's no question about that. And Jeff Fisher is going to be absolutely sick if they go on to lose this ball game, because you're right, they've played an outstanding football game, and it's just their own mistakes that have allowed Tampa to continue drives, move the football, and put points and get back into this.
And for the Tennessee Titans, who have done all the things that Jeff Fisher wanted them to do, to move the ball on the drives, converting third downs, making plays outside.
Yes. Javon Curse is behind the trunks.
During the overtime period, it is an extension of the fourth quarter. Each team has 2 timeouts. All instant replay is controlled by the instant replay assistant in the booth. Visiting team, Tampa Bay, will call the toss.
And the first team to score will win the game. What a wild game. I don't think any of us expected a wild affair today. Expected a defensive.
Tampa Bay has called heads. That's tails again. That's heads again. It is heads. Tampa Bay has won the choice. Tampa Bay has won the choice and will receive.
So Clyde Christensen, the offensive coordinator, talking things over with Tony Dungy. We're going to sudden death overtime here in Nashville. We'll be right back. And back at Adelphia Coliseum, Dick Stockton, Troy Aikman, Moose Johnston, Pam Oliver with us today, and as he always is. And now we're getting ready for sudden death overtime. The Buccaneers will get the ball first, and Joe Nedney will kick off. Back deep, Dwight Smith and Ravi Abdullah for Tampa Bay. Smith off the bobble, returning. And he doesn't get to the 20, and there's a penalty marker down. Drew Bennett making the stop on Smith. Normally this indicates a penalty against the receiving team.
During the return, number 38.
20th penalty of the game. Let's check in with Pam Oliver right now.
All right, Dick, as we entered into this overtime period, you really get the sense that down here on the Titans sideline that Tennessee may be emotionally out of juice. They perhaps realized that for all intents and purposes they had this game won, but kept letting Tampa back in it. I literally saw just one player trying to get the team jacked up, and that was Eddie George. Back to you.
Interesting.
Well, and that's what happens, too. And you think you got a game won, and a team comes back and gets back in it, and you go into overtime. There's no question that Tampa Bay has the emotional advantage at this point.
But they do start at the 8-yard line, which is not an advantage right now after the penalty. They do have the ball, and Brad Johnson incomplete to Mike Allstott, bringing up 2nd down and 10.
Well, the offense has accomplished a lot of the goals that Jeff Fisher asked them to today. We've talked on numerous occasions about that. Now it's time for the defense. This is a defense with Javon Curse and Kevin Carter that has the ability to make that big defensive play with a sack or a sack fumble. And this has not happened for them this season yet. So the offense has done their job. They've got them to this point. It'd be nice to see the defense step up and make a huge play here.
Brad Johnson, night and day compared to the first half of what he has done in the second half. But we're in overtime. 2nd down and 10. Play action for Johnson, and he's going up on top, and this pass intended for Green, and it is out of bounds, and he was well covered downfield by Deron Jenkins. And Kevin Carter is slow getting up. So an injury timeout as we look at that play.
Yeah, and the one thing you want to try to do as a quarterback, you just want to give the guy a chance to catch the football. Even if he catches that, he's out of bounds. And
here's Kevin Carter at the top of the screen, the guy who's down right now. Mike Allstott. Wow. You talk about shipping a guy on pass rush. Mike Allstott is a tackle's best friend on that, and hopefully that's just Kevin Carter having the wind knocked out of him. That'll slow down your pass rush right there.
So it'll be 3rd down and 10. Well, for Brad Johnson, unlimbering that arm, he has attempted 49 passes. And if he attempts number 50, that will be a career high for Brad Johnson. Joe Salavea, number 95, has replaced Kevin Carter for the Titans. So 3rd down and 10 from the 9-yard line. Keyshawn Johnson has been a big factor in the comeback for the Bucs.
Tennessee's going to go with a 3-man rush there, 3 down linemen.
Johnson gets time, and the pass intended for Moore. Incomplete, covered by Donald Mitchell. So 4th down coming up, and now the Titans. And there was a good observation from Pam Oliver that the wind might have been out of their sails, but good field position will get it back for them.
Well, they did exactly what Moose just said, is the defense was able to step up, make a play, and stop them. And now Tennessee, barring any penalty or anything like that, they're going to have great field position for their offense, with their offense a chance to get down and get points now.
And all they need is 3 to win it. Mark Royals will punt from the end zone. And Joe Walker is deep. Good kick by Royals, but Walker already is in Tampa Bay territory, but not by much. Tackled by Rabi Abdullah. And the Tennessee Titans will begin from the 46-yard line of the Bucs. Well, it's been a wild game. At one point, the Titans led by 2 touchdowns, but Brad Johnson leading the way back for the Buccaneers with his first 3 touchdown passes of the year. Steve McNair having a big game, not only passing but rushing, but Eddie George with 86 yards and a touchdown, but the key one, maybe 3 of the 4 scores coming after what would have been 4th down penalties. Here's McNair on 1st down by Drew Bennett. These kids keep proving it. A 15-yard pickup.
It all starts with protection up front. You got Zach Pillar and Brad Hopkins working on Warren Sapp. Warren Sapp doesn't get anywhere near Steve McNair, which allows him to get the ball to Bennett on the outside. And this guy has done a nice job, considering he has not gotten a lot of opportunities to play, but he's made plays today.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line of Tampa Bay. Here's Eddie George, and he's tackled after a gain of about a yard by Anthony McFarland. So it'll be 2nd down. If you're wondering, Joe Nedney's longest successful field goal outdoors is 52 yards. He is 2 for 3 so far today. New England defeating San Diego in overtime. Nedney with 1 career game-winning field goal in overtime. They have another opportunity. 2nd and 8. And going deep for Dyson, beats the defender. And the pass is incomplete. Donnie Abraham trailing.
I tell you, I like the play calling that they're using right here in this situation. Who would have think the Tennessee Titans would be taking the shots that they're taking? They got Dyson, clearly gets by Donnie Abraham. They just cannot connect. But Heimerdinger, the offensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans, is doing a great job of coming out in this particular series where you would expect him just to feed the ball to Eddie George. He has been very aggressive and has gotten him into this position, and he's wanting even more than just a field goal.
They don't make any yards. It would be a 48-yard field goal for Nedney. And before that, the Buccaneers will call a timeout. In overtime, 2 timeouts per team, and this will be the first. Well, remember, the Tennessee Titans thought that they had a touchdown on a play that was challenged and upheld on this play.
This is going to be the pivotal point of the game, and you know, we talked about this in length when we saw it. I think all of us here were very surprised to see this overturned, but boy, what a huge turning point right there.
They ruled no touchdown, and they ruled that Dyson had his leg touch the pylon. Therefore, he had gone out of bounds before he was eligible inbounds to make the play. So many turns and twists in this game, Troy.
Well, there have, and you know, right now at 3rd and 8, the ball's on the 31-yard line. They've got to get a few more yards in order to get, you know, make this a little bit easier field goal shot. And I've got to believe that they're going to somehow either get the ball to Eddie George on a handoff, or they're going to try some kind of screen, but just something that's pretty high percentage to pick up a few yards here.
They have 4 wide receivers and Eddie George in the backfield. 3rd and 8, they hand off to George, and they won't get anything there. And Simeon Wright, who says he's just a pass rusher, stopping the run and a loss of 1 on the play.
But never known as a great run defender, but we talked to Warren Sapp, and he said he's really bought into this philosophy that the Buccaneers use. And you watch him on film, and he does close the gap. And Warren said because he's only responsible for the 1 gap, you know, he's playing much better in the run game.
So Joe Nedney, who has made 2 field goals and missed 1, all from beyond the 40 mark. This will be a 49-yard attempt to win the game for Joe Nedney. And the kick is up, and the kick is good, and the Titans win in overtime. Joe Nedney with a 49-yard field goal with 12:22 remaining in overtime, his 3rd of the game, and Tony Dungy's Buccaneers fall short after coming back from a 2-touchdown deficit. And the final score, the Tennessee Titans 31 and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 28.
Plenty of leg on the one that he missed earlier. He's just wide right. A guy like Joe Nedney isn't going to miss if you give him a second opportunity.
And so for the Tennessee Titans, Jeff Fisher knew he needed this game after losing the first 3, and the Titans come back and win. They know what adversity is all about. They are now 1-3 on the year. And for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, looking up in despair to see the field goal successful, their record drops to 2-2. We'll be back here in Nashville in just a moment.
Life is like a